Yeah.
There you go.
All right. And Jacob, of course, is the first person to comment. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to watch, but says he'll be out of town. Wanted to say hi. Hi, I'll go back and watch the replay. Appreciate you, Jacob.
Yeah, hey, Jacob.
All right, haven't seen Cobra, but I'm aware that Stallone. Yes, because I gave you that information. That's why you know that, Jacob. All right, you got that from me. All right. And have seen Over the Top, though, which is super macho 80s cheese. The father-son drama was cringe, but I enjoyed the over-the-top arm wrestling. Listen, that's probably as good as arm wrestling movie as you're ever going to get. Like, you know, all it is this back and forth, but to make this look exciting, it's a hell of a task. All right, so we're going to jump on into it. So, y'all, this is another throwback retro review here. Double feature. I got some fam in the building. My man Mike from Did You See That? So, Mike's been on the channel quite a few times. So, if you don't know him, shame on you. All right, this is family right here. But just in case, I'll put his link in the description. Check him out. Did You See That? Talks movies. I love your What If series. Okay, your latest What If series video is not Johnny Depp. Who was it again? Refresh my memory.
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen. Yes, winning. All right, so yeah, make sure you check that out. Check Mike out. Tell him I sent you. And what's in the cup, bro?
Oh, just water today.
Okay, all right. No vodka in there. None of Grandpa's secret cough medicine.
Nah, we're not talking about a terrible movie, so I've just got water.
All right, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the little trailer here that I put together, and we're gonna go ahead and jump into it.
Cool.
All right, 1 minute. Okay.
Hey, yo, that was crazy, right? That's ripped right from Predator. Remember when Apollo Creed got shot and the arm fell and the trigger was still moved? You've never seen Predator?
Yo, come on, man.
This is where the law stops, and I start. Stallone is a cop called Cobra.
The world has always bet against Lincoln Hawks.
You never had anything, so you have nothing to lose.
All I care about is you. You're my boy, you understand? I own you!
Over the top, Dad! Over the top!
Sylvester Stallone, Over the Top.
Had to throw that HBO in there, man. I'm sorry, God. I grew up on that.
Man, that video package is awesome.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. So we're gonna start out with a Cobra first. All right, cool. Pig, you have to take me in if you can. All right, so Cobra, of course, stars Stallone and his then wife Brigitte Nielsen. So Cobra is a tough, no-nonsense cop, walks around with a match in his mouth, and the crime is the disease, and he's the cure. All right, the ultimate tough guy. I would love to see what would happen if we have a multiverse battle between Cobra and John Rambo. I think Rambo would win. Rambo's too skilled with booby traps and shit like that. But at the same time, Cobra is no joke. And this was originally an Eddie Murphy vehicle. But actually, no, take it back. Sly wanted it to be Beverly Hills Cop, but they thought it was too violent. They said, it's a little too dark, and it's going to be too expensive because for what Sly was asking for, it was going to cost a shit ton of money at that time. So they said, nah, we're not going to do that. So Sly said, okay, he took his story, went to Canon Films, Menachem Golan, who also directed Over the Top, and said, I want to make this movie, and he made it. Now, you probably noticed, Mike, the movie does, I don't want to say it's choppy, but it feels like a chunk of it is missing. You know what I mean? It feels like a lot of it's missing because it is. So there is, Stallone was actually thinking about doing a director's cut because originally the movie was over 2 hours long. But Canon Film said, 2 hours, hell no, we're going to cut that shit hour. I think it fell just under an hour and a half. So there's like 30 minutes of footage missing from this movie, and you can tell when you watch it because it was a lot more gruesome, a lot more bloodier. They had to cut some of the violence down, or else they got a NC-17 or X rating or whatever. But listen, I enjoyed the movie. It's a cheesy action film. It does what it's supposed to do. Okay, you know, as critics, it's always easy to shit on stuff. They say, well, you know, just this was bad, that was bad. That look, it's an 80s cheese fest. That's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less. Bad acting, cool action scenes, cool villain who you've seen him in other stuff before. You never know his name, but he's been in a lot of stuff. The villain, the Night Slasher. So I love the movie. You know, it's part of my collection. I watch it once a year. You know, I'm a big Sly Stallone fan. But I'm gonna give the floor to you, bro. What's your thoughts on Cobra?
Yeah, so I watched Cobra last night, and I can say, man, I really, really enjoyed the movie.
Nice, nice.
I just like, there was a lot of like retro to the movie as well. I mean, obviously it's 80s, but even the point when it's kind of like 15, 20 minutes in the movie, he flicks the TV on and there's a Toys R Us Christmas advert on there. I was like, oh man, that's my childhood, you know, like I see that every year and I'd look forward to that every Christmas. So technically, would you say this is a Christmas movie?
No.
Oh man.
I mean, you can make the argument, but like Die Hard and Lethal Weapon, those Christmas, the Christmas theme is so in your face where you can't help but think about Christmas when you watch it. But it's like this, you have to really pay attention to realize, okay, this is around Christmas time.
Right.
Yeah. And of course, you can't have an 80s movie without a montage. So for some reason, that weird sequence with Brigitte Nielsen and the robots, I'm like, okay.
No. Yeah, that's definitely. We'll probably get to that, but that's definitely one of my biggest negatives with the movie.
Right.
But man, yeah, it was just so fun. Like, I think with this movie and Over the Top, like Stallone plays more of a kind of like a serious tone to his character. He's like more humbled. He's like, especially in Cobra, less dialogue than he normally does. And I was like, that's great. Give him less dialogue, even better.
Yeah, I mean, he's a soft-spoken, tough guy who he does not play around with you, man. You know, just even the whole look. You know, he's always wearing black. He's got the mirror shades on. He's got the gun with the Cobra logo on it. Right. I mean, the match in the mouth. I mean, dude, the guy just fucking oozes charisma. You know what I'm saying? Testosterone and charisma.
Yeah, completely agree. And yeah, so I love the character of him as like Cobra. Marion.
Marion Cobretti.
so that was funny.
Right.
The one thing I couldn't take serious though. Oh, 100%.
Oh, okay. What's up, Video Tasties?
Man, the one thing I couldn't take seriously about Stallone in that movie though is it was, as you said, he had the black coat, he had the match, he had the shades. I was like, he looks cool. But man, when he stepped out the vehicle and you just saw the gold buckle on his shoes, I couldn't take it serious.
It's the 80s, man. You know what? You got to think at this time, too, Sly's ego was like through the roof because at this time, he's like a bona fide superstar. You know what I'm saying? So I heard a story. I heard a story where they was on set that he had got into it with the cinematographer. Like he was telling the cinematographer he wasn't working hard enough or he wasn't doing something. And the guy came back at him like, well, look, if you keep your hands off Brigitte's ass, we can get some work done around here. And Sly couldn't do nothing but laugh it off like, okay, cool. You know? Yeah, so you can tell, like you can see, even though he doesn't say a lot, Mike, but you can see his ego is like really inflated here because he just has this like macho-ness when he walks. Like everything about him is like, dude, okay, we get it. You're cool. You're tough. You got your hot wife working with you in a movie. Okay, we get it, but still, it's Sly, so he gets a pass.
Oh, that's his wife?
Brigitte at the time, yeah.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, well, remember, she was also in Rocky IV. She played Drago's wife in Rocky IV. Yeah.
Wow.
Brigitte Nielsen, yep. and I think they divorced like right after Cobra, I believe. Yeah, they divorced around 86, 87. Yeah.
It must have been that gold buckle.
or hey, you know, it could have been Arnold because she did a movie called Red Sonja with Arnold in it. Rumor has a Sly Ghost direct. I heard that too. Yeah, I heard that too. That's why he likes working with that director, because the director just kind of steps aside and lets Sly does his thing, but he just puts his name in the credits. Not a bad deal.
Right.
But yeah, she did a movie with Arnold called Red Sonja. It was like a sword and sandals flick, and apparently, according to, I don't know if it was her biography or his biography, but they had a little thing going on. You know?
Ooh.
Yeah. So that they had a rivalry, and not only did they have a rivalry, but say, you know what, I'm a get with your wife too at the same time. Yeah. Before Biggie and Tupac, it was Arnold and Sly.
Wow.
Yeah, man. So what about the villain, the Night, was it the Night Slasher or the Night Thrasher? I forgot.
The Night Slasher.
The Night Slasher, yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, what you think of him?
Not too bad. The guy was creepy, like a really weird look to him. I was like, he plays a good villain, you know.
Yeah.
I wasn't a huge fan of the angle that there was 3 of them involved. Like, I think it would just be better if it was just that creepy guy, because like the goons were wearing, like, was it like a woman's tight on their face or something? And I was like, it was so badly cut with the eyes, it was laughable.
Yeah. And you know what, even his whole motivation, okay, because the first couple of times I watched it, I didn't understand what his angle was. Like, so I guess in the beginning it's established that his gang is like strong, and you know, this world has no place for the weak. So I guess the whole goal is to kill every weak person, so the strong, you know, we must kill the weak so the strong can survive. Yeah, okay. That sounds a little Thanos-ish, but okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if they're killing the weak, what if they took like a woman, but that woman knew like black belt karate, and she was strong? Would he just let her go because she's not weak, or would they just kill her anyway? Like, you know,
they would probably put her in the gang. They'd be like, "You can kick ass. I guess join us. Grab those 2 axes. You know, that axe thing they were doing. You know, and I guess you're part of the gang now." Yeah,
I was getting Cobra Kai vibes when they were doing that.
Right.
Like Cobra Kai.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, like that was one of the weak parts to me. Like the motivation of the villain didn't really make sense, but I mean, he still had he had a good look to him. He was menacing, scary. The scene at the hospital was very tense. You know what I mean? When he came to kill Brigitte at the hospital, that was one of the best scenes in the movie. And remember that fucking knife that he had? That thing was like, I'm like, this dude's a slasher, you know, like for real.
he played a good part. Yeah, as a villain, like he came across as like a really he's just got like a kind of creepy look to his face. So I think like in a villain, he doesn't need to do much. You know, he looks quite menacing.
Right.
I just don't think he needed the other 2, and that policewoman was terrible.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she.
What made me laugh though is like as they get towards the end of the movie and they know when to take it to the safe house, and then obviously they find out that woman's talking to the goons, and like they don't, and then like Gonzalez is like Stallone's friend. Is like, I never liked that woman. And Stallone's like, yeah, me neither. And I'm like, we've seen no scenes with you. Like, we've seen no dialogue with you guys to not like her, you know?
Well, I mean, that goes back to, I think that's probably part of the stuff that was missing. You know what I'm saying? Like, they probably cut that stuff out because back then, I guess the philosophy was, you know, always keep a movie 2 hours or under. You know what I mean? So now, if Cobra was made now, they'd probably make Cobra 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes. But back then, the typical action movie was hour and a half, no longer than like an hour, 40, 50 minutes. You know what I mean? Yeah. And Cobra's no exception. Yeah, well, even him, the sidekick, I thought he was, you know, I wouldn't say memorable, but he I guess he served his purpose pretty well. You know, nothing that you're really gonna remember. Kind of like, you know, like if you think about Beverly Hills Cop, you think about Eddie Murphy and Taggart and Rosewood, but when you think of Cobra, you don't remember that guy, you know, unless you watch it again. Like, oh yeah, that's the guy that loved to eat gummy bears. Okay.
Right. Yeah, it was okay.
Right. Yeah. And what about the action? So how would you say the action was compared to like all the other 80s stuff that you've seen so far?
Well, yeah, it was fun. I would say there was times like the action scenes here reminded me of Commando to an extent. And I really enjoyed that because I've got to say, Richard, like out all the movies put me on, apart from like Rocky and Rambo series, like
Right.
Commando's been like one of my favorites I've seen. So yeah, like so it starts off like very good action scene in the supermarket. The trolley's blown up everywhere. That was awesome.
Right.
And then like the car chase scene, it's pretty cool as well.
That was to me that was the best action scene in the movie was that car chase.
Right.
Like for 86, that was fucking crazy.
One thing was got me laughing though was like when Stallone's getting chased and he's chasing the bad guys in that car scene. The amount of times like they bump up and down in the surfaces and go flying through the air. I was like, how was one of them not flew through the windscreen by now?
And not only that, Mike, that car should have been done. Like the moment a car goes airborne and it comes down, that engine, everything is coming out, bro. Like, if I take my car right now and go over a curb, my whole car is like about to fall over. So just imagine going airborne and boom, still intact. Gotta love the 80s, man.
Right. Man, but yeah, fun action scenes, and as you said, that hospital scene was awesome.
Right. Apparently that's about 30 minutes. Yeah, I was just saying that. Yeah, cut out of Cobra, mostly about the villain and the violence because Sly wanted more focus on him. And you know what? That's not the first time I've heard that about Sly. So there's another movie that he did called Nighthawks with Billy D. Williams, which I might give you. Because Nighthawks is one of those Sly Stallone movies. It's kind of like the black sheep because it's not a typical Sly movie because he plays a cop, but he's not like the macho over-the-top guy that you know, like in Rambo and like in Cobra. Like he's almost like a normal guy. But in that movie, Rutger Hauer, if you ever heard of him, Hauer plays the villain in Nighthawks, and he knocks out the park. He steals every scene that he's in. And the legend is that Sly was very jealous of his performance. He felt like he was being outshined by Rutger Hauer, so he went to the director and was like, let's cut a lot of his scenes out, because we don't want to focus so much on him. We want to focus on the heroes of the movie. So I think about like 20% of Rutger Hauer's stuff is cut out of the movie just so Sly can have more screen time. Don't know how true it is, but that's what I heard. So reading that comment, I wouldn't be surprised because that's not the first time that I've heard that Sly did that.
Well, what year did Nighthawks come out?
81.
I can imagine it's probably true, as you said, with Stallone with the ego. I can imagine.
Yeah, because that's after Rocky fame. Like Rocky 1 and 2 had already came out, so Sly was already a household name. So yeah, I've heard he's done that before. Wow, Perez, yo, don't come in with the bullshit, man. Wait a minute. Okay, well, hold on. Okay, all right. Yeah, he almost got my pressure up. Just kidding. I love these movies. Takes me back to being a kid with my pops. Yeah, and also you make me feel old too, Perez, because
hey, man.
Yeah, Liz, I would love to meet your pops, bro, because it seems like me and your pops got the same taste in movies.
Right.
Because Nighthawks is great. Yeah, I might give you that one, Mike. I might give you that one soon. Because like I said, it's a very underrated Sly movie. Like not a lot of people talk about that one, but I think it was a dope ass cop movie, buddy cop movie. Cobra is a Christmas movie. I never thought of it as I'm sorry, I never thought of it as a Christmas movie. Just had to get your Perez. I know man. Perez always fucking with me. Damn, I gotta keep my turmeric by me every time I talk to this dude, man. What movies are y'all talking about? Seriously, it's in the title. I don't mean to be rude, but damn. We talking Cobra. Right now we're talking Cobra, and we're gonna be talking about Over the Top after that. All right, but thank you for coming in. So yeah, you and my dad would talk about the same movies forever. Yes, Godfather, The Warriors, what? All the Rockies, Rambo, hell yeah. And right now, Rocky 1 through 4 just dropped on Netflix. So if you ever want to revisit those, man, for some reason they left off 5 and 6.
Oh man, Rashad's favorite's number 5 as well.
I like 5. Okay, don't get it twisted. I like 5, but compared to the other Rocky movies, nah. Even Sly disowns that one. Hopefully we can get listen, I would love to see a director's cut of Cobra. You know, I'm not a big fan of I'm not a big fan of director's cut. I think Cobra, when you watch it, like I said, it feels like, did you have that feeling, Mike, that it felt incomplete?
Yeah, as I said, it felt like some scenes was missing. The introduction to the love interest Ingrid, who's Bridget Nielsen, is that right? Something like that. Even her, like, it felt like she should have had like 1 or 2 more scenes in here. And the bad guy as well, because it didn't really have much motivation apart from showing him and his cult slapping hammers or whatever they're hitting.
The axe slap. Yeah.
Felt like there should have been a bit more substance, but I think I read, if I'm not mistaken, on IMDb last night, exactly what you said before, that there should have been like a 2-hour cut, and I think Stallone teased on Instagram like a couple of years ago during COVID about like a cut, you know?
Right. So I hope he does. Yeah, I hope he does it, but I hope he does it better than what he did with Rocky 4. I was not a fan of the Rocky 4 director's cut. That he should have left that alone. Because I think the movie was, you know, imperfectly perfect as it was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just got the full Rocky Blu-ray bundle for Christmas. Nice, dude. Nice. Upcoming series on my channel. Hell yeah, bro.
Well, I would say, Perez, if you I would just say, wait a minute, y'all. Oh yes, secret scene. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Apart from I would say just very quickly to Perez's comment, if he's going to do a series on his channel with Rocky, if he's going to do it as part of a collaboration, find someone like Rashad did with me, who's never seen them. I think that would be an experience.
Nah, I think that's a dope idea. Yeah, because I love introducing classics to somebody that's never seen them. You know, so if you can, because Rocky, like basically the whole world has seen Rocky. Mike, you were like, you know, I was just lucky to find you, man, because I don't know anybody else that has not seen the Rocky movies. You know what I'm saying? So I lucked out with you, bro.
Right.
All right. So okay. So let's get. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Very quickly. I was going to say, Rashad, I found out, also Perez is still watching, Ryan from RWR Movie Reviews, he's never seen Rocky, so that might be an idea for you, Perez.
Ooh, okay, Perez, you listening, bro? I think we just found your next collab, man. I still can't believe Mike just saw them. Yeah, but I love it, because I love seeing the reaction of people watching. Like, Perez, like that same feeling you get when you see somebody watch Star Wars for the first time. I get that high when I see somebody that watches Rocky for the first time.
Right.
Like my son, when I introduced my son to the movies, now 1 and 2 were a little bit too slow for his taste, so I would have to go right to the fight, you know, when we watched the first 2 movies. But now 3 and 4, he actually sat through, and when I say he was like into it, like he was watching a real sporting event, like when he fought Clubber Lang and then when he fought Drago, and of course 4 is his favorite one. Most people gravitate towards 4, man. I love it, but it's no 3 to me. Just, you know.
Right.
Good idea. Yeah, do that. All right. Check better be in the mail for Mike, man.
But you know, man, I will say very quickly, just to add in, you know, we always take the mickey out of me not seeing a lot of movies, and even on your intro video, you've got that, you know. But at the same time, you know, I kind of like having these first experiences that I'm an adult, because I can kind of like fully appreciate these movies.
Right.
Whereas when a kid, you know, I could be like, oh yeah, I enjoyed the movie, but then I'll revisit it anyway as an adult. So yeah, I still ain't seen shit though.
You still ain't seen shit. Well, you know, and it makes it funny when I think about it too, because I watched these as kids, but when I watch them as an adult, that's the holy shit. I was a kid watching this, because Cobra's even though they cut a lot of the violence out, but Cobra's a very violent movie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm 6 years old watching this, like when Sly took your boy and put him on that damn hook. I remember first watching that, bro, and I'm like, like it looked like it hurt the way he sold it, because he was like grabbed on, he was like, I said, ooh, that looks painful, man. I should not have been watching that stuff as a kid. You know, I need to call my father up and have a talk.
I think the worst one you were shown as a kid, from what you've said, was RoboCop.
What's that?
I'm saying I think the worst movie you were shown as a kid, from what you've said, is RoboCop.
Facts. Listen, but that was an accident. He didn't mean to show me that one, but there was a couple that he showed me where I was like, I don't think you should have shown me that one, Pop.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. So okay, so let's get to the climax of the movie. Okay, so to me, the best scenes was the car chase scene. Okay, like near the end, and so the climax was I love that climax when your boy has that monologue where he was like, yes, come with me, and I will take you to hell, whatever. And then Sly comes out and he's like, your history, he's like, you won't do it, pig. You won't shoot. Even I have rights. You have to take me in if you can. And Sly hits him with one of the best Sly lines I've ever seen in a Sly movie when he says, this is where the law stops and I start. Sucker. I said, did he just call him sucker? He took it back to Rocky, man. Sucker. I said, oh shit. I love that end scene. I love the whole on the hook, in the fire, bro. Like, say what you want about Sly. Sly can do a climax like no other, man. Pause. But he can do a climax like no other, bro. Like, he just comes out with the most inventive ways to kill somebody. You know what I mean? What do you think about the climax?
Oh man, it was funny. Like that line when he delivered it, he's like, sucker. I was like, he's channeled his inner Booker T for a second.
Yeah. For real, man. Booker T, Clubber Lang, I love it, man. I love it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That final climax is awesome. Like, just even up to the point to get into that, out the safe house and the practical effects and the practical stunts when, he's on the back of the truck and he's shooting them with that awesome gun.
Right.
And people just flying left, right, and center of motorcycles. And he gets into that warehouse where it's like a very secluded feeling. And when he puts him in the hook and then the guy gets burned, I was like, wow, that's awesome. That was
great. Yeah. Even in the score too, the score was like, it had like a horror movie kind of feel to it, didn't it? Like, it felt like he was watching like a scary movie, So, man. So wrapping up Cobra, I dug it. You know what I'm saying? It's no Oscar contender or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Sly's not going to win an Oscar, but if I'm going to look at an action film, a good popcorn action film to enjoy, this movie delivered in spades. So giving it the Rashad G grade, I give Cobra an A. I loved it.
That's a fair grade, man. Yeah, I think, so I give it a 3.5 out of 5. Which for me, anything over a 3 is a rewatch. So that's good. Man, I loved the movie, really enjoyed it. Another scene I wanted to say that I really loved, I definitely think it's one of probably Stallone's best, more serious performances he's done.
Okay.
And I love the part where the tensions with him and the police as well. I thought that was Monty.
Yeah.
I can't remember the character's name.
Yeah, you know what? And I don't know. You never seen Hellraiser, did you?
Yeah, I've seen the original Hellraiser. Yeah.
The original, okay, yeah. If you remember him, he was Frank from the original Hellraiser movie.
Yeah, Frank was one of the best characters.
Yeah. So because him and Sly stayed beefing, and didn't Sly knock him out at the end of the movie?
Yeah, because it's like because he's like, I would have handled this situation with less that carnage. No hard feelings.
Yeah, no hard feelings. Yeah.
That had me laughing.
Oh yeah. Wait, another scene that sticks out, Mike, is near the beginning where Sly's going home, right? And there was this Mexican gang. They was in the car in front of him, and he was trying to get them to move. And they was like, "Man, fuck you, Holmes. We're not going there. We're not going nowhere." That's say. And Sly hits the car, so the guy gets out talking shit like, "Hey, man." And all Sly did was grab his shirt and rip his shirt down, and take the cigarette out of his mouth, and that was it. Just totally punked him. So your boy, he just standing there, right, just like he didn't know what to do. As most people do, wait till Sly walked off. Hey, fuck you, Holmes. Now he wants to talk shit, right?
Well, one funny thing I noticed about that as well, and I read up on it afterwards, is when he grabs that guy and he rips his vest off.
Right.
I was like, what's that guy got sellotaped to his body? And I read up afterwards. the guy had literally the microphone he was given for the audio
Right.
was to his body so you can see it.
I didn't notice that. Oh shit! So I'm guessing that was made up on the spot. I guess
Well-
Sly just said, "Well, let me just rip his shirt off."
Yeah, or they forgot to just edit it, like cut that scene out, you know, where it's like
Right.
just the front shot. Yeah, go back and rewatch it tonight, like that little part.
Right.
You can literally see that it's like the microphone stuck from here, goes all the way down.
I didn't know. I mean, I guess it happened so quick I didn't even notice it. Wow.
Yeah. Also with that gang at the beginning, what I also loved is after that time, Sly bumps the car and he doesn't talk trash to him.
Mhm.
The next time he's next to that curb, the guy automatically pulls his car forward.
But look, that's how you handle it, man. Look, a man of few words, didn't argue, didn't go back and forth with him, just simply ripped the man's shirt, took a cigarette out of his mouth, and walked off.
Right.
That's what you call a man's man, you know.
Right.
All right, so we both agree Cobra was the shit. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next movie, which this one might be divisive. All right, so we both love Cobra. So now let's get to Over the Top. One of 3 movies that helped tank Canon Films and made that company go belly up. Okay, an ambitious movie by Menachem Golan. Okay, an ambitious movie because he had a vision. He wanted to go big. Okay, he was used to doing movies like Revenge of the Ninja and Into the Ninja and Breakdance and all that stuff. But no, I want to be in the same league as Warner Brothers and Universal Studios and Columbia Pictures. So I'm going to make a $20 million movie starring Sylvester Stallone, who was the hottest commodity at the time, and we're going to put Canon Films on the map. Well, if you're going to do a film that's supposed to be a blockbuster, arm wrestling is probably not the way to go. You know, he underestimated the American market. He thought that Americans wanted to see arm wrestling, which we don't really give a shit about. You know, now maybe if it had been football or maybe wrestling, maybe we could have, but arm wrestling, nah. So his heart was in the right place. He really did try to make a good film. To me, you could tell Sly was just coasting through the movie, man. Even with his delivery, you could tell almost like he did. That's how I felt. I felt like Sly didn't want to be there. I felt like this was a paycheck movie. I just want to get through this and get paid, But even in his worst performance, he still gave the best performance of the movie. You know what I mean? So I personally enjoyed Over the Top. The stuff with the son can be a little cringe at times, a little, the kid can be a little annoying, I hate you, my grandfather always said you were a loser. Now you're trying to turn me into one and I hate you for it. Ugh. But the film had a lot of heart. Okay, it had a lot of heart. A couple of times, I ain't gonna lie, a couple of times I did almost choke a little bit. Like, that kind of hit me. It did. Like, a couple of scenes kind of hit me a little bit. And the arm wrestling stuff, even though arm wrestling is but I enjoyed it, though. But that's just me. So Over the Top, not a perfect film. Now, I'm not even going to say it's one of my all-time greats, but I love watching this movie. To me, it's a guilty pleasure. So I'm going to give the floor to you. What do you think about Over the Top, bro?
Yeah, so before the stream, I got done watching the movie like 10 minutes before we came live. Yeah. I'm going to say, man, not bad movie.
Okay.
Not great, but not bad.
Okay.
For me, I actually think Stallone's performance was pretty good.
Okay.
I know you were saying about walking like kind of through a paycheck, and I guess to an extent I could agree. Mm-hmm. But again, I feel like with this and Cobra, it was more of like a tame Stallone performance.
Right.
Especially with the fatherhood, and I think he was trying to sell the father-son dynamic because he's good at that kind of stuff. I just feel like the kid actor brought nothing to that dynamic.
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
Either of these movies, but my favorite Sly movie outside of Rocky is Lock Up. We're gonna, you know what? So I think the next time we cover Sly, bro, I think I'm gonna give you Nighthawks and Lock Up. I think I'm gonna give you those two. Yeah, I think to this very day is his best performance. Yeah, I love Lock Up. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Another movie I haven't seen.
Okay. Wow. So Black Task, you didn't like Cobra or I mean, Over the Top. I would never defend Over the Top. I wouldn't be like, man, how could you say that? I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah. But Cobra, come on, man. How can you not love Cobra, man? That's like vintage Sylvester Stallone,
Yeah.
Like that seems like the catalyst for the Expendables, if you ask
Right.
me.
Right.
You know.
But yeah, man, I think with Over the Top, I think the worst dynamic of that movie is the father and son part. Because don't get me wrong, it's obviously meant to be emotional, and I was like, at least the movie's paying enough time to try to develop this story.
Right.
And I like that, but I think the kid actor was not the right kid actor to go with.
I agree.
Because when he was talking, obviously, it was in the script for to be like, oh, sell this line and oversell this line kind of thing. I just don't think it's like he delivered it that well to like have that chemistry. And like, I know you said a couple of parts you were tearing up a little bit on Neely. Right. For me, I didn't get that because I didn't like the dynamic.
Okay, well, the parts where I teared up at was not so much having to do with him when the wife died. I thought, the music and Sly's reaction to seeing, to hearing about her passing, and then when the boy ran away and left him by himself, like, I felt for the guy, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, he lost his wife, his son ran away, he has nobody now, so it's that scene where he's sitting on the back of the truck like in that sunset, which is a gorgeous shot, by the way. And he's just sitting there, just like with that flashlight, like, damn, like, I lost everything. I don't know. To me, that just kind of got me a little bit, because Sly can really sell. Like, he could be a tough guy, but he can also sell, like, you feel sorry for him. Whether you watch Rocky or Rambo, like, you just want to give the guy a hug, like, damn, man, it's going to be okay, Sly. It's okay, man. It's okay. It's okay. Like, I hate hearing him cry, man. What's we want to get Jackie covered in baby oil? Yeah, those guys were jacked, and most of them were real arm wrestlers, like real professional arm wrestlers.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. Wow. What actors that haven't appeared in the Expendables would you want to see? First one comes to mind is Steven. What's Steven Seagal in? No, Steven. I don't know. Steven Seagal's never been in one. I want to see Steven Seagal. I would love to see Jackie Chan. But for whatever reason, Jackie Chan does not want to do an Expendables movie. I don't know why. But those are like the main two I would want to see.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't answer that question because it's been years since I've seen the movie, so I can't remember who's in them. I just remember like Stallone, and I know Arnold Schwarzenegger's been in one, or at least a couple.
Right.
Chuck Norris was in there at some point.
Chuck Norris, he was in the second one, yeah.
Yeah. I can't answer that question, so I'm just going to stick with what Rashad said.
Jackie Chan and well now I guess he's old enough to be an Expendable now. I would say The Rock, but put The Rock as a villain in one of the Expendable movies, Oh, and another one, Michael Jai White. I like him too. I think Michael Jai White should be in Expendables. Yeah,
that's a cool man. I think what would be an awesome movie idea is Schwarzenegger and The Rock in a movie, like an old action guy versus a newer action guy. I think that would be two big guys as well. I think that would be cool.
I think that'd be dope. Yeah, the last time we seen them together was The Rundown, where that was like they had that passing of the torch moment. Did you see The Rundown?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that'd be dope, man. Is that the one with the tall blonde chick that he ended up marrying? Yeah, Cobra. Yes, Cobra. That's with Brigitte Nielsen. Yeah. But I've only seen both movies once, way back when Black Tie. Okay, so find those movies right now. It should be on one of those streaming platforms. Yeah, rewatch Cobra, bro. I think you'll have a new appreciation for it because it's like 80s action, 80s cheese at its best, bro.
Definitely Cobra.
Yeah, that's the way to describe it, the tall blonde chick that he ended up marrying. Yeah, he married her, divorced her. Arnold smashed her while they was married. Hey.
Oh man.
If you've seen her lately, she hasn't aged too good, man. She did not age good at all. But back then, Brigitte was bad. Like if you go back and look at some of those old photos of her back in the day, Brigitte was a brick house, man. She was tall, voluptuous, curvy, had a pretty face. Yeah, she was like 6'1". She was a tall chick. Yeah, man.
I was gonna say I saw a picture of her recently, or like now, And I was like, what happened?
Drugs and alcohol, man. She went through a bad spell where she was doing a lot of drugs, and when you put all those bad substances in your body, man, it ages you.
Right.
Imagine how young if I didn't drink. Okay. So wait a minute, I got distracted thinking about Brigitte. Where was we at? Yes, Over the Top. Yeah, man. So I think originally, from what I read, it was supposed to focus more on the truck driving aspect of it, and not so much the arm wrestling was kind of like a backdrop almost. You know what I'm saying? But Menachem Golan wanted to make it more of an action movie kind of. So that's when he came in to direct, he said, "Okay, let's do more of the arm wrestling stuff," which works, because I love the arm wrestling tournament. They had some colorful characters in there, and the main villain, the antagonist, Bull Hurley, the bald guy, he was a real arm wrestler. Like, he was a professional arm wrestler for real, But here's where my gripe comes in. So Sly is known to take on people bigger than him and Goliaths and everything. But even as a kid, Mike, I didn't buy it for 1 second that Sly could beat this dude was like a whole foot, 200 pounds bigger. Like, when they locked up, he swallowed his whole hand, bro. I did not believe that Sly could actually take that dude over, even with the whole, which I used to do that shit back in the day. I ain't gonna lie. I'll wrestle with your friends, be like, over the top, yeah. Yeah, I didn't believe that Sly could beat that guy. So I don't know the whole arm wrestling thing. Like, what'd you think about the whole arm wrestling tournament?
Yeah, so the tournament was the best part of the movie, because like sprinkled like little bits throughout the movie, you get like a little glimpse of arm wrestling. And I kind of wish the movie did more of it.
Okay.
Like, so for me, I think they could have eliminated the whole son element of that movie.
Damn.
Just had it where Stallone was a single guy out on the road in his truck. And, at the beginning, you get that tease. Can't remember the guy's name, but he's like, "I'll see you in Vegas." That guy.
Yeah, Bull Hurley, yeah.
Bull Hurley, yeah. So they could have done an angle. What I would have liked to have seen is they've done an angle where they're both truck drivers, and they're trying to compete to get to the next job, and as a side hustle, the arm wrestling. And, had that rivalry throughout. So to the end, it builds up to that big climax fight.
Right.
Because for ages, you see Bull Hurley and then you don't see him to the end of the movie.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. You don't see him to the end. Yeah.
And I think they just focus too much on the son, who you don't care about. But the arm wrestling stuff was awesome. It was just so cheesy in the baby oil, but it was funny.
Well, I like the one match that he had with the black dude, and I'm like, of course he would beat the black guy in like 2 seconds. All right. Because he's like, "Pooh, hey man, I wasn't ready. I'm like, I said, did they have to do the brother like that, man? Like, out of everybody that Sly arm wrestled, gave him a hard time, but the one brother in there, hate to make it a race thing, man, but the one brother in there easily just beat him.
I noticed that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like a really good fight as well.
Right.
And I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, well, Mike, that was the 80s for you, man. Black people did not get a lot of love in the 80s. We was always the first one to die in the scary movies. We was always the first ones to get killed in the action movies, okay? Got beat arm wrestling 2 seconds. Brothers did not get a lot of love back then.
Nah.
Let's see. I loved her in Beverly Hills Cop 2. Oh, Brigitte. Yeah. I don't like Beverly Hills Cop, but I did like her. Yeah, she was a villain in Beverly Hills Cop 2. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Only thing I remember about that movie was when Eddie Murphy first saw her, he said, "That's a big bitch." That's the one thing. That's the one thing I remember about that movie.
Brilliant.
So the boy's grandfather, Robert, I never forget. I never remember how to say his name. Robert Loggia. The old guy. He's been in a lot of stuff. If you've seen Scarface, Sopranos, Psycho 2, that guy's been in like every movie you could think of, man. So him as the evil grandfather, I thought he did a good job. You hated him. He was, I guess, the antagonist of the movie.
Right.
And if you're a wrestling fan, you notice one of his henchmen was Terry Funk.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh shit, I said Terry Funk's in this movie. Okay. So what you think about him? What you think about the grandfather? You think that he did a good job?
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, he played the evil grandpa role well. Again, I just wish throughout the movie he took the kid Mike, and that was the end of their screen time.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but they did try, because I mean, at one point you do see the progression of how at first Mike hates him, and then as the movie goes, they start to bond a little bit. They start to, he starts to open up to him. I thought that stuff was kind of, it was okay.
They tried.
They tried, yeah, they tried. Like, I like that moment where they're in the truck, and actually, no, Mike calls Sly dumb pretty much. He's like, yeah, me and you are two different, social scales or whatever. And so I was like, oh, okay, prove it. Pulls the truck over. All right, drive the truck. I thought that was a good scene. I was like, okay, if I'm so dumb, let's see if you could do what I do.
Yeah, so that scene, I was like, wow, that's like really, really good, challenging the kid. Because he was like, oh, your mental age is like 11-year-old kind of thing.
Right.
And I was kind of hoping in that scene that Stallone let him fail, to be like, oh, look, not everyone can drive a truck,
Yeah. Well, also too, if you notice when he pulled over, he says, oh, am I aggravating you? He's like, man, look, I passed aggravation like way back there.
Yeah.
And he's like, are you gonna get violent? You gonna give me a break? Now, in real life, if I'm with my father, right, the kind of person my father is, if I talk to him like this kid talked to Sly, yes, my father would have pulled that truck over, and yes, my prediction would have been right. My father would have pulled that truck over and wore my ass out.
Right.
What boy? Who you think you talking to?
Right.
Yeah. Oh, my father didn't play around, man.
Oh man, yeah, same. Like, so when I was younger, like very very young boy, if I spoke to my dad like that, the shoe would come off.
Yes, yeah. Like, I mean, look, I get it. You want to be, you can't be. I guess he couldn't really be too hard on him because he didn't see him growing up, so he's just coming back in his life again. But I don't give a damn, Mike. I guess I'm built different. If I have a son out there that I just get introduced to, right? He's 10 years old. And I said, okay, damn, it's fucked up. I haven't been in his life and everything. Okay, cool. But you're still my son. You came out of my body. Okay, I shot you out of my nuts. Okay. If you talk to me, I don't care, Mike, I don't care if I just met him now. If you talk to me sideways out your mouth, I'm gonna smack that shit on the other side. All right, a double back slap. You ever see a double back slap is when you come here, pow, and then you bring it back, pow. Yes, I don't play those games. I'm from the old school. Yeah.
I mean, you shouldn't talk to your parents like that anyway. So yeah, I understand.
Hell no. No, you don't do it like that. I think that's the thing with kids now. Kids now can talk, because like kids now curse in front of their parents. They'll be like, "Oh, come on, mom, shit, I'm moving fast as I can, shit, come on." The parents are like, "Oh my god, what am I gonna do? Maybe we should take him to therapy, or well, what's that one show? There's a show out there where when the kid acts like, when the kid's really bad, they have like a therapist come in and try to diffuse the situation or whatever." I'm like, come on.
I don't know.
Yeah, there was a show like that where the kid's like really out of control and the parents can't control him anymore, so they bring a person in, like a mediator, to come and try to help calm the kid down. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. How the hell look, I'll let an outsider come in and tell me how to calm my kid down. No, I have quite a few attitude adjustments in here. Okay, like you said, you got the shoe, you got a belt, you got you ever heard of a switch? Yeah, you have a switch. Go outside and get a switch. A wet washcloth. I got hit with one of those too. So yeah, a part of me watching this movie was like, I just wish I think if Sly would have gave him one good ass whooping, I think the movie would have been better. Yeah, I think one good ass whooping would have made the film a little like that itch that needs to be scratched.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. especially okay, I think the perfect moment where that could have happened, Mike, is when he lost to the one kid, and he went outside and started crying. He was like, "Yeah, my grandfather said you were a loser. Now you're making me one." And Sly did kind of have a moment like, "Look, I don't care what your grandfather says. You know what I'm saying? Like, you lost back there because you gave up. You know, he kind of jumped in his crap a little bit, but nah, I would have like, boy, who you think you talking to?
Yeah, your ass back in there.
Get your ass back in there, boy. Look, my pop would have been like, boy, get your ass back in there. Shoot, I told you the story where I lost a fight to a kid and I came home crying.
Yes.
The kid beat me up, and my father took me back out there to the kid, which I know you can't do that now. Like now, the parent will go to jail and everything, but back then it was like that. My father pushed me up into me, said, "Hey, man, fight him again. Kick his ass, Rashad." He said, "Either you beat his ass, or I'll beat your ass." You know. So, like the great Charlie Murphy said, "Only thing acceptable is victory." So, right. I mean, so do you agree? If Sly would have gave him one ass whooping, do you think the movie would have been better?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The kid deserved it.
All right. Well, let me ask you a little bit. I'm gonna give you a little bit of trivia here. There's one thing. Okay, besides Sly, there's one thing that connects Over the Top and Cobra together. The same thing is in both movies. Let's see if you can point it out. The same thing that was in Cobra was also in Over the Top.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I know. Well, I know a couple of like the people who helped do Cobra, helped do Over the Top, kind of like the the background kind of stuff. No.
Okay. So there is, I believe they have the same composer, but okay, the scene in Cobra where the gang comes up to the safe house and they have that shootout.
Yes.
There's a piece of music that plays, right? That same music is an Over the Top where Sly and Bull Hurley had that last arm wrestling, like that face off. Like if you go back and look at both scenes, like it's the same exact music.
I did not know that.
That's how cheap Canon Films are. Canon Films will recycle. They will recycle musical scores and use it in other movies. Yeah,
it works well though.
Yeah. I mean, because you don't really notice it until you watch it. Like, I watched it back to back, and I said, "Wait a minute, that's the same shit that was in Cobra." They just recycled this shit. Yeah. All right, so wrapping it up, Over the Top, like I said, guilty pleasure. You know, I would never defend it, but I like watching it. And not one of Sly's best movies, not one of his best performances, but I like watching it. You know, I'll watch this over Stop When My Mom Will Shoot, or some of his other stinkers that he did. The Specialist with Sharon Stone, Judge Dredd. I'll watch Over the Top over those movies any day. All right, so you have any last thoughts of Over the Top?
Nah, man, I'm good. Yeah, not a bad movie, but not great.
Not great. Okay.
I'm in the middle.
Right in the middle, yeah. And also, you know what? I guess there was banking on the movie being a success because they actually had a toy line out too when that came out.
Wow.
Yes, they had a toy line, and I actually had. I lost it now, man. But they had the toys where the arms. They had where you can wind it. And so when you wind it, the arm can go like this. So if you put two of the toys together, y'all could have like an arm wrestling match, and they had the stand and everything. It was actually kind of cool. But yeah, I guess when the movie tanked, the toys didn't sell so well, so they lost a lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, after watching the movie, I don't think it deserved a tank.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, because at the end of the day, it's a unique movie. I've never seen another one about arm wrestling.
Right.
And it is still a sport that has a fan base out there.
Oh yeah, well, it became a cult classic. Like when it got on VHS, that's when it really took off. You know, but at the time when it was released in theaters, because I think because of the competition at the time, I'm not exactly sure what it was up against, but you got to think '87. That was the year of like Full Metal Jacket and RoboCop and Predator and the Lost Boys and the Untouchables. You know, like just '87 was a dope ass year for movies, man. So if you put Over the Top against any of those, you know what I mean? It's not going to win, you know. So I think it had a lot to do with that too, the competition that it had to go up against.
True.
Yeah.
And as you said, people didn't want to see arm wrestling matches back then.
And they didn't want to see arm wrestling. Even if it was Sly doing it, they didn't want to see that shit. You know, I never at first I don't want to see. I'm like, arm wrestling. You know, we went from Rocky Balboa knocking people out to this shit.
Yeah, it's just not interesting. Yeah,
right.
I mean, even Hi, lovely.
Lovely, what's going on, girl?
Yeah, I mean, even nowadays, I think if they were to try and make an arm wrestling movie, it would flop.
Yeah, big time,
Yeah.
big time. But Menachem Golan. If you could find that documentary, bro, watch it. The Rise and Fall of Canon Films. It's called Electric Boogaloo: The Rise and Fall
Okay.
of Canon Films. Yeah, Golan. He was an interesting dude, man. He speaks with a real thick Israeli accent, and just a very fired up, passionate person. Like he loved films. You know, he may not have been real talented, but the dude loved movies. And at the height of Canon Films, bro, they must have put out like 30 movies in a month. You know what I'm saying? Like Canon was like pumping them out. They were pumping them out like crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. But like I said, they didn't have respect within the industry. Like people looked at Canon as like, trash, exploitation type films. So he said, okay, so we're gonna go big time. So his plan was to do Over the Top, and that was supposed to make a lot of money. And then from there, he was gonna do the He-Man movie, Masters of the Universe, starring Dolph Lundgren, right? And then and that was supposed to be a big money maker. Then after that, Superman 4. You know what I'm saying? After Superman 4 did good, his plan was to do a big budget Spider-Man movie directed by James Cameron.
Wow.
That was the layout. That was like, how the MCU does the layout? That was the layout of what he wanted to do. And Over the Top flopped. Masters of the Universe flopped. Superman 4, Jesus Christ. So they never made the Spider-Man. Never made it to Spider-Man.
I would love to have seen that Spider-Man movie.
Oh man, what a James Cameron written and directed by Cameron.
Because you've got to think as well, if James Cameron did that Spider-Man movie, every time Spider-Man swings in a web, it would be practical effects as well.
Right. Green screen.
It would be so good.
Yeah, because I mean, you look at Aliens and even the first Terminator, the first Terminator, the effects don't really hold up that much, but the Alien still holds up, and that was all practical. So I think he could have pulled it off.
I think it would be dope. Yeah.
Awesome. But yeah, try to find that documentary though, man, because Canon has a very interesting story. Yep, and he actually directed this because he was over Canon, like he was the guy, like he was the head boss of Canon, but he actually directed Over the Top. Like that was like, that was supposed to be the first to kick things off. And nah.
I feel sorry for him.
Yeah. He was a very passionate dude, man. Arm wrestling movie with Sly Stallone. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, arm wrestling and truck driving.
Right.
Yeah, I bet a lot of
What was it?
I say I bet a lot of people sign up for truck driving school after they watch that movie.
But no, man, I've got to say though, I do respect the movie because I haven't seen a lot of kind of movies. Obviously, you've seen far more than I have. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you can just tell like this movie, they tried to sell this father and son relationship. They tried to sell him as like a truck driver, which is a relatable everyday job for anyone.
Right.
I just added with like arm wrestling, like something different.
Mm-hmm.
So at least they tried.
Yeah, they did. I mean, and don't get me wrong, like I used to love arm wrestling as a kid. I never knew that it was a professional sport. Right. I didn't know that they had a big crowd and everything was in Vegas. Like, as a kid, you arm wrestle your best friend. Like, come on, I bet I beat you in arm wrestling. Even to this day, I arm wrestle my kids.
Right.
Yeah. So it's something that I always do, and I do the over the top. I'll be acting like I'm losing to my son, and I'm like over the top. I'll do the whole, in slow motion, and then bring it over. Oh man.
Wow.
So giving it the Rashad G review grade, I give Over the Top. I give it a B. I enjoy the film. Heavily flawed, really cheesy in parts, really cringe in some parts. I wanted to kick that little kid's ass. And another thing, that kid, he's supposed to be 10 or 12 years old in the movie. That boy was actually 16. Look it up.
Wow.
Yeah, that boy was 16.
Did not know that.
Yeah, he's like a grown man in a kid's body.
Nice.
So so B is what I give it. I'm okay. I'm gonna guess yours. All right.
Yeah, out of 5 stars, remember?
Out of 5, I predict you're gonna say 2.5 out of 5.
Yep.
All right. We here. We here. See?
Yeah.
I really tried. I used to play arm wrestling a lot with my brother, and he always won, just like you said with your kids. Yeah. You know, I used to arm wrestle my father too. You know what my father used to do to me though? Like before I got stronger than him and I was able to beat him. But my father, so we'd be arm wrestling, right? And he would just have his arm there. So I'm sitting there like, "Ugh," and my father just sitting like this. He's like, so yeah, later on today I'm supposed to be going to go to the store and get something. Like he'll be talking about something, he'll be watching a movie or something, and I'm like, come on. He's like, oh, he's still going, okay. So
Brilliant.
He used to drive me crazy with that. Kids in
No,
Hollywood,
sure.
sure, that's why. But not only that, like, okay, at 16, your voice changes and everything. You get like manly features. The boy still had the voice of a 10-year-old.
Right.
Yeah. No signs of puberty at all.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah. Yeah, man.
All right. So Mike, I appreciate you coming on, man, doing another stream. This is fun. As always, I'm wide awake now because when I started the stream, bro, I was tired as hell, man. So I'm like wide awake now. So shit, I feel like doing some push-ups now. Shit.
Covered in baby oil.
Covered in baby oil. What? Shit. I did that one time when because I used to wrestle in high school and I didn't know that baby oil was like a no-no. So actually I caught myself putting baby oil on so like when they grab me, they could slip off of me. And I got in trouble for that. They said, "No, wipe that shit off. You will get disqualified." I was like, "Oh shit, yeah." And I still lost the match too. That dude beat the shit out of me, man.
Baby oil and all.
Baby oil? No, I wiped the baby oil off because if the referee saw me with baby oil on or Vaseline, anything slippery, I would have got in trouble. But luckily, I used to sweat a lot. I was like a profuse sweater, so. I would sweat. So when I sweated, if I could make it past the first period and I'm drenched in sweat, it was hard for the guy to grab me and I would, take advantage. Yeah. Yeah. I was a pretty decent wrestler too, man.
Oh man, that's awesome.
I'll catch the next one.
Thanks, lovely.
I got here late. Yeah, you got here late. Don't run on black people time.
Catch the replay.
Catch the replay, exactly. All right, so y'all. So once again, to those watching, if you haven't already, I put the link in the description to Mike's channel. Check him out. Tell him I sent you. And so next, okay, so I think we're gonna go back to Arnold next, right? Because we did Arnold last time. We went from Arnold, Slide. Now we're gonna go back to Arnold again. So next time, let's see for Arnold. How about we go with Twins and Total Recall?
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've seen both of them, but yeah.
Oh, you seen both of them? Oh, okay. No. Okay, scratch that then. Scratch that. I'm trying to give you ones you haven't seen before. You seen True Lies?
No.
Okay. Let's do True Lies and Eraser.
Which one?
Eraser.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it? Oh, shit. You in for a treat. There you go. True Lies and Eraser. That's next on the list. 94 and 96. So we're starting to get into the 90s now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. You say you've seen all the Terminator movies, right? You've seen Terminator 1 and 2 and all that?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
He knows.
So yeah. True Lies. I think you're really gonna get a kick out of True Lies. That's one of James Cameron's most underrated films, I think, in my personal opinion.
I've heard great things. Yeah. Another Arnold one I haven't seen is Junior.
I refuse to watch that. I will not watch that. Hold up. Look, and Loey, love to come in there to my how about Junior? No. All right. Arnold's one of my heroes. I will not watch one of my heroes have a baby in his stomach. I'm not doing it. Come on, man. I love True Lies. Yeah. So yeah. Eraser might be a mixed bag for you. Because Eraser for its time, dope, but I don't think a lot of the effects hold up now because they was really experimenting with CG back then, and CG was still kind of new. And so even at the time, you're like, that looks a little weird. And when you watch now, you're like, oh my God, that's bad.
Okay, wow. Yeah, I've never heard of Eraser, so yeah, I'm down.
Okay, cool. All right. So on that note, Mike, I'm gonna let you because I know you say you got some stuff going on today, man. So I'm gonna let you go ahead And so once again, this is Rashad G signing out. Mike from Did You See That signing out for talking to Cobra and Over the Top. This has been like, what, 2 months in the making? Finally did it.
Yeah.
All right, man. So we're signing out, and we'll see y'all in the next video. And now the awkward 2-second silence while I try to get out this damn thing.